Hi, kindergarten friends. It's time for today's interactive read aloud. Today, I will be reading the story, Creak, Said the Bed. This book was written by Phyllis Root and illustrated by Regan Dunnick. Remember, the author is the person who writes the words, and the illustrator is the person who draws the pictures. Today's story is the first in our new text set. Text set 14, Having Fun with Language. You're going to notice in this story that the words in this book make it a lot more fun and interesting to read. Creak said the bed. I wonder why the bed is going to make a creaking sound. I think we are going to be finding out. Creak said the bed. One dark night, in the middle of the night, Mama and Papa were snoozing in bed. Squeak went the door. And Evie said, I'm scared in my room. Can I come in with you? Papa said, snore. And Mama said, sure. There's plenty of room for Evie in the bed. So Evie bounced in. Creak, said the bed. That same night, that dark, cold night, Mama and Papa and Evie were snoozing in bed. Squeak went the door. And Ivy said, I'm freezing in my bed. Can I come in with you? Papa said, snark. And Mama said, sure. There's plenty of room for Ivy in the bed. So Ivy plopped in. Creak, said the bed. The same night, that dark, cold, windy night, Mama and Papa and Evie and Ivy were snoozing in bed. Squeak went the door, and Mo said, It's spooky in my room. Can I come in with you? What does spooky mean? Yeah, scary. Papa said, snarkle, and Mama said, sure, there's plenty of room for Mo in the bed. So Mo squeezed in. Creak, said the bed. Boys and girls, do you hear all the different sounds that I'm reading? You can hear the word squeak, which is the sound the door makes when the little boy and the girls open it. You also hear creak, which is the sound the bed is making when another body is getting in the bed. Do you see the crack at the footboard of the bed? That is very interesting. I like how this story has Papa snoring, and this page he said snarkle. Have you ever heard somebody make a snore that sounded so silly? That's a silly snore sound. All right, let's see what's going to happen next. That same night, that dark, cold, windy, rainy night, Mama and Papa and Evie and Ivy and Mo were all snoozing in bed. What does it mean if you're snoozing? Yeah, you're sleeping really good. Boom! Went the thunder. Clickety, clickety, click, clack. Squeak! Went the door. Woof! Said Fred. Up Papa popped. Papa cried, stop! There's no room for Fred in this bed. Do you think there's room for Fred? But Fred leaped in. Crack, said the bed. Oh my goodness. Boys and girls, take a look at this picture. Fred is the dog, and he was scared too. He hopped in the bed, and look what happened to the bed. Were you afraid this was going to happen? I think it's interesting that Dad is awake, but look at all the rest of the people. Everyone else is sleeping. It's very different than the other parts of the story. Snoof, said Fred, and Mama and Evie and Ivy and Mo said, snore. Papa scratched his head, and Papa said, Guess there's plenty of room for us all in the bed. One dark night, in the middle of the night, in the middle of the bed, in the middle of the floor, Papa said, "Good night." "Creak," said the floor. Look at the floor. I want you to predict what you think is going to happen to the floor. What tells you that the floor might break? Yeah, we see all the cracks. It looks like Mama and Papa are going to fall through the floor, doesn't it? That would be a really silly ending to the story. I know it sounds strange, but this is actually the last page of the book. If you were the author or the illustrator, how would you end the book? Would you end it here, like the author and the illustrator did? Would you end the book with people sleeping and just seeing a crack? I think if I were the author and the illustrator, I would want to draw the family falling through the floor. I think that would be a funny way to end the story. So throughout this story, Papa is pretty much doing the same thing. What is Papa doing throughout most of the story? Yeah, he's sleeping. Does he know that all the people are in bed with him and Mama? Yeah, he doesn't know his whole family's in the bed. What wakes Papa up? Yeah, their dog Fred. When Fred enters the room and barks, then Papa wakes up. How could the creak sound that the bed keeps making help the family know that the bed is about to break? Sometimes when things are about to break, they make a creaking sound that tells you that something isn't right. Why do the kids and the dog want to come into Mama and Papa's bed when they are scared? Sometimes being with someone else does make you feel better. Do you think this is a funny story? Turn to a friend and tell them what you think is funny. I hope you enjoyed the story, Creak, said the bed. Have a great day, boys and girls.